not giving rural white people Jasmine Crockett coming to their door, because that would have never flown, folks. Welcome back to the show. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. First topic. Trump has announced that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace deal and all hostages will be released. Roll the clip.
We do have a Fox News alert. Donald Trump, the peacemaker, strikes again. President Trump announcing moments ago on Truth Social that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of a peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace.
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, I have some serious Middle East fatigue. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Middle East and the wars going on every single day, and oh my God, more bombings and more hostages. As an American, we should never have to hear about the Middle East, right? I mean, like, how often do you ever hear about Norway or Iceland or countries where it's going well that aren't war-torn, ravaged countries, right? So it's just like, figure it out over there, learn to coexist, and quit just being in these endless stupid wars over just stupid bullcrap. You know, I mean, as an American, I basically never want to hear about the Middle East again. And hopefully Trump is finally making that happen. He's saying, all right, enough is enough. We're no longer doing this. We don't want to spend all this time over here. We don't want to spend all this mental energy on the Middle East. You're figuring it out. You're getting peace and you're ending it. And hopefully I, as an American, never have to hear about the Middle East ever again. Unless something great's going on. I mean, I don't mind hearing about great things, but I'm sick and tired of hearing about war-torn Middle East countries. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. MSNBC's Chris Hayes is suggesting that Trump did the Israel-Hamas peace deal just to get the Nobel Peace Prize. Roll the clip.
There was a deal that was sort of jointly negotiated by the outgoing Biden administration, the incoming Trump administration, that was also multiple phases. The first phase was the release of some hostages, a cessation of bombing. That never got to phase two the first time around. Instead, the war continued after that. So your point is well taken. Do you think there's a role do you worry that Trump wants to get the Nobel Prize on Friday? It's sort of, I mean, I really don't mean that as a joke. I mean, the Hamas negotiators even talked to DropSite, which has been reporting on this on the record, saying they know that the Nobel Peace Prize matters, that there's some desire to get something done that may not then endure in even the medium term.
I was talking to Diane, your producer, right before the show, and I said Kissinger got the Nobel Peace Prize and Gandhi didn't. So I'm not sure how much the Nobel Peace Prize means, but it means a lot to Donald Trump.
First of all, does anybody care if Trump only did this to get a Nobel Peace Prize? The guy's acting like Trump woke up one day and was like, well, I kind of want to get a Nobel Peace Prize, so I'm going to end like 7 to 8 wars in a matter of 10 months, and, you know, it'll be a great feather in my cap to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, so if Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize, we get the byproduct of ending wars all around the world. I mean, is that just like a terrible trade-off? The guy wants his Nobel Peace Prize, you get wars ended. Wow, such a terrible thing. But no, that's not the reason he did it. The guy wants to be the greatest of all time, and this is just making it so that, making it irrefutable, undisputable, whatever you want to say, Trump is the greatest president of all time. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. Jasmine Crockett is pissed at Kamala Harris and her team because she wanted to do more campaigning in rural white areas and they gave her the side eye. Go ahead, roll the clip.
When it came down to the presidential, I told the team, I said, stop sending me to all the urban centers. Yes, I can do that. Yes, but you got plenty of surrogates that can go do that. You need to send me to rural America. And they were looking like, huh? And I'm like, listen, I was in East Texas. I live there. I know the struggles. I know what it's like when the paper mill is threatened with shutting down or Cooper Tire may shut it. I know the struggles and the angst. I know how these small town economies work. I get it because I lived it. I still have property out there. Like I'm like, just just try me. Like, trust me on this, right?
Yeah, that is pretty hilarious. If she wanted to go to the rural white areas to do some campaigning and Kamala's team was like, nah, we're just going to keep you in the ghetto, in the hood, and you can talk to black people and make sure they're voting for Kamala. But yeah, I mean, white people in rural areas don't want some ghetto hood rat coming up to their door trying to get them to vote for some drunk moron, okay? So it's like, rural white people aren't as dumb as everybody thinks. Like, oh, they're just a bunch of white trash idiots, trailer trash. No. These are people who know what they're doing out in the rural areas. They like being out there. They like being away from people. They don't want to be in the riffraff of the city and all the bullshit, the minutia. So they also don't want ghetto people coming up to their door trying to get them to, vote for drunk morons. So good on Kamala's team for actually seeing the writing on the wall and actually knowing and, not being stupid and knowing what people want and not giving rural white people Jasmine Crockett coming to their door, because that would have never flown, folks. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So a journalist, Brandi Kruse, proved that apparently you can actually recover from severe TDS. Roll the clip.
I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement syndrome. Yes. I'm a reporter in Seattle, and frankly, I could not care any less what any of you have to say about this meeting. Could not care any less. We're not here for you. I'm not here to convince any of you that Antifa is a real thing, because if you have not come to that conclusion by now, you are never going to come to that conclusion because you don't want to see it. And you're going to go and you're going to say it's a bunch of right-wing conservative influencers who are here spinning a tale. I was one of you. I was a mainstream reporter in Seattle for 10 years. I was a TV reporter on the streets doing my job, and I was still assaulted by Antifa. So it's not about being conservative. It's about people who go there and show what they're doing. And when I saw, after all those years, that the media wouldn't be honest about what was happening, that Democratic politicians wouldn't be honest about what was happening, I thought, well, gosh, if they're not being honest about that, maybe they're not being honest about President Trump either. And it opened my mind to just looking at things for what they were. And now I find you quite funny, actually. Now it's like I said, I'm much happier.
Now that is funny how she said she feels she even got more attractive when she got over her TDS. See, people around America need to look at this woman and be like, wow, look at that woman. She admitted that she had severe TDS and hated Trump, and it basically ruined her life. And now she's just way happier. Her life is way better. She's more attractive. Everything in her life is going much better now that she's gotten over her TDS. I mean, I didn't think it was possible to get over TDS. I think there's about 90% of people with TDS who could never get over it. It's just like, it's terminal TDS. But good on this woman for actually seeing reality and admitting that, yeah, I was fooled by the fake news media. And once I finally saw the light, that it just made my life way better. And I'm just so much more happier now that I have given up the whole TDS just scene and just gone to full just living in reality. Because that's what that woman is doing now. She's living in reality, folks. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you